Let's bring back just going to a job and then going home to your purpose and your passion. It's okay to be passionate about things and want to do passionate things and go find purpose in your life, but doesn't have to be at your job. Can't we just go to a job and enjoy it and then go home and be purposeful and passionate? And I think that a lot of this comes from the being sold the idea of quit your job and go find your purpose and your passion and love what you do and make money doing it. And I don't disagree with those statements. I think the issue though is when it's taken so far that people are unwilling to find the work and then figure out a way to enjoy that work. Think about how many jobs are out there that are not necessarily passionate, that are not the sexy jobs, that maybe they're actually dirty jobs. And for those of you who remember Mike Rowe, which I'm kind of indifferent to, I'm not like a huge fan of his or anything, but I think what he did was kind of cool. He did a whole show called Dirty Jobs, and he went and he visited people that do dirty jobs but are necessary jobs. And in a lot of cases, people really enjoyed what they do because it was so unique, because it was necessary. And that's what I'm looking at here, is the necessary part. There are some jobs out there that are absolutely necessary we can't do without. And I'm not going to get into the whole equality. This is not a man versus woman thing. This is stop chasing the sexy shit because somebody told you that you need to make money by only doing your purpose and your passion. And driving to work and on the side of the road, there's dudes crawling around on their hands and knees. Look, there's a couple ladies too. See what I mean? It's not about men versus women. And they're crawling around doing construction, putting up rebar so they can pour concrete. Why? So we can have 4 or 5 lanes on our interstate instead of 3. That's necessary. You want purpose and passion? There you go. But we've been told, now, unless it's a travel vlog or unless it's flex time in an office that doesn't have restrictions and unlimited PTO and the social media, and let me tell you something. I would love to sit at my desk and play Fortnite for 6 hours a day. But how many people are doing it, right? Like, what's the likelihood that that's going to happen? It's stop chasing. And we talk about this purpose and passion, and what do people do? They go online and they find somebody that's already doing something, and then they try to go replicate it. Is that really purpose and passion if you're just replicating what other people are doing? I know people that are working their ass off in kitchens with a 2-year plan to partner with somebody to create this amazing restaurant experience. Cool. It doesn't mean that it's going to be sexy. It's their purpose and their passion, but it's still a job. They still have to go to work and do the dirty parts. It's not just, the flashy, I'm going to put some food on a plate and it's going to be so cute and I'm going to charge 4 times what it's worth. No, they still got to do other things involved. They got to do the planning, they got to do the research, and they still have to take the risk associated with them. There's a lot of stress associated with that. Can we just bring back going to work? And there's another layer here that people either don't want to comprehend or can't or say the word ignorant. And I try not to say that because people just assume I'm calling them stupid. Again, that's not what it means. It just means you don't know. It's a lack of education. It doesn't mean stupid, it just means you don't know, right? So the ignorance around this subject, I want to make sure I did some research, right? So there's a story about, and I didn't know if it was research or if it was an anecdote of just, people that found passion in a job that wasn't necessarily passionate. Well, there was an actual research done way back in 97, Yale University. This lady wanted to look into people who were doing the non-passionate jobs, but they were super happy doing it. You know, it's the janitor at the business. It's the janitor or the stock people at the hospital, right? They're not the doctors and the nurses and saving lives. They're like ordering stuff and making sure that the supplies are available. It's the secretary. And this is the main point that I want to get to. And this shows why the contemporary thought processes and popular thought of the day often ruin things for us. Because how often do you hear the term secretary anymore? We don't hear it. Why? Because it's been replaced by executive assistant, administrative assistant, because we're told that being a secretary isn't gender neutral. It's mostly a woman's job. It's a demeaning job. It's a boring job. But this is what they found. First of all, the word secretary has meaning. It's not just a role that women do. It is a role that anyone can do. It just happened to be a thing that a lot of women did at that time. And because a lot of women did it, there was a lot of women that ended up finding purpose and passion in this job. They self-reported. They enjoyed the job, not because they came in, I want to be a secretary. No, they became a secretary, and then what they realized was there was a lot of power in being a secretary if you do it right. It's not just about taking notes. Secretaries were gatekeepers. They were the right hand of the CEO, or they were the gatekeeper at the front door. They knew everything. You talk about being indispensable. They knew stuff. They had access to calendars. They had access to doors. They had access to meetings. They had access to people. You wanted to know somebody? You were smart and you got to know their secretary. You needed to get through a door? You needed to know the secretary. And this is the part about like people trying to change names and that's not okay, we got to get rid of that name. The true purpose and passion was in the name. Secret is in secretary. You are the secret keeper of the entire organization. And especially if you're working for, say, like a CEO, imagine the knowledge that the secretary has because of the calendars, because of the meetings, because of the conversations, because of the note-taking, because of the trust that's been put in with this person and the conversations that they have. Imagine the power that you have. And if you know what you're doing and you have the right mindset, and a lot of them, the old school secretaries, knew what this meant, and they had plenty of knowledge and appreciation for the job that they did. My son's an electrician. He'll be 30 this year. My brother and I had some connections. We got him in the door for an interview. He did a great job in the interview. They hired him off the street. He had an interview on Monday. On Tuesday, he was in the office signing papers. Wednesday, he was on the job site. He's been on the job site ever since. And he's doing amazing things. My daughter's going to school for medical imaging. She graduates with 2 degrees this year. And her goal is to go on to medical school. And that might, people are like, oh, well, that's the sexy job. That's the passionate job. Maybe, but it's also really fucking hard. She has busted her butt to not only make it through this program, to be at the top of her program. And she's doing amazing things. You won't call that a sexy job? That's not a job I'd want. The amount of studying and all the work that she's had to do to get where she's going. Oh, I know a younger guy who played hockey. He was following his dream playing hockey, and then after one season playing D3 up north, he's like, I just think I'm done. Okay, so what now? What's the purpose and the passion? He's like, I'm gonna go work in HVAC. Seriously, go work in HVAC. Okay, yeah, let's go do it. So he's the same thing. Connections, right off the street, got hired. Gonna go to community college, cut his his apprenticeship in half. Instead of 4 years, it'll be 2 years. Like, come on, that's right on, man. And in a couple of years, we'll be making much more than people that went to college for 4 years not knowing what they wanted to do because they were chasing their purpose and their passion. Why? Because everybody else is doing the same thing. Everybody else wants to be a social media manager, wants to be a YouTuber, wants to be a gamer. Let's bring back learning how to do sales, learning how to talk to people, do production, right? Oh, it's so boring. Yeah, but it's necessary. It is needed. And there's usually quite a bit of money to be made because they need good quality people. And this is what I told my son showing up for the electrician job. I'm like, look, this is a necessary job. But really, you show up on time and do good work, you're ahead of 50% of the people. In fact, you're probably ahead of 60% of the people. You show up sober, no drugs, no alcohol, just be that consistent person, do the consistent job, you're going to be in the top 10%. He's like, really? He's like, all I got to do is show up and do my job. I'm like, dude, seriously, that's what people are looking for. And so if you can bring your purpose and your passion, right? Bring your passion, not your purpose. Just bring your passion to something. And be consistent, be reliable. Because somebody needs you, and it may not be a sexy job, but somebody needs you to do that job. And it's not just the boss. There's a reason that job exists. And so look deeper, look beyond. I have some friends that still do food service. Hell, over in Europe, being a waiter or server, that's a career. People go over there, and for their whole lives, they serve coffee and food, and they love it. Over there, it's respected. Some things here are meant to be teenage jobs. Working at McDonald's should not be, unless you're managing, right? You work up, I get it. But really, if you're flipping burgers at McDonald's, I'm down with do the job that needs to be done. But honestly, that was a job that was for, teenagers, 16 to 19-year-olds. And some people just need to do the work that's there. Go do the work that's there. But with the idea that you should be building into something else. And to just understand that you can just go to work and then you can go home to your purpose and your passion, and that's okay. So, like me, I work at a hospital. I'm not in healthcare. I'm in a healthcare organization. I do talent development. I'm not a healthcare provider. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nurse. I don't do any of those things. So it's not necessarily that the sexy doctor, nurse, whatever. I still love my job. I still love what I do. I have a lot of respect for my job and what I do. I really enjoy it. But it's once you get into the job, there's a lot of things I could complain about. So what are you looking at your job? Are you looking at the things that you're complaining about? Are you constantly complaining about your job? And can you flip it? Are you able to flip it and focus on some of the things that can be appreciated? Think about the secretary with all their gatekeeping and knowledge and trust and respect that they've built over time by being the consistent person. The tradesperson, the necessary tradesperson. And whatever it is about your job that you can do so you can just go to work and just do your job and say that's okay. And then you can go home and you can hang out with your family, and you can do all the things, and you can buy the toys and chase whatever it is that you want to chase outside of work. If you have something that you find purpose and passion, and you've been successful at that thing, awesome. But I think we're selling people this black hole of you have to find your purpose and your passion, and then you have to go do a job that matches that. Well, what happens if they don't? And then suddenly you got a bunch of burned out people. They're like, well, I'm just doing what I was said to do. And then they're bypassing a whole bunch of jobs that they could do, but they don't want to because it doesn't fit within their purpose passion box. Go enjoy your day. Go enjoy your job for what it is, and then go home and enjoy your purpose and your passion.